Dr. Simba. It is Allie Holdren. I hope this video finds you well. Today we are going to be doing a video presentation on a Coca-Cola ad and which country I want to run this ad in. So the ad we watched was it was an Italian Coca-Cola ad, two siblings racing to bring the pool boy their Coca-Cola, but their mom beats them to it. And the message of the ad is very much so, Coca-Cola is the perfect drink to share, especially when you're trying to catch the eye in favor of a special someone. It's a great way to connect with other people. Just sharing that ice cold Coca-Cola can really, cause can bring a relationship into the picture, if reciprocated, of course. And this ad definitely takes an emotional approach. If it were rational, it would probably talk about budgets, buying in bulk for a good price, cheap prices, but it took a pretty humorous take, a cheeky take, if you will, on Coca-Cola and sharing it. So it's definitely an emotional approach. Excuse my sniffling. In the country that I would run this ad in is Brazil. Obviously, South American country, huge. I have some fun facts before I go into what I would change about the ad, how I would distribute it, etc. So some fun facts I found was from InsideVacations.com on 30 fun facts you need to know about Brazil before visiting. So they are the largest coffee producer in the world. They are the 5th largest country in the world. 60% of the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil. They've won, their national football team has won 5 FIFA World Cups. Prison sentences can be reduced for every book a prisoner reads, which is pretty cool. Gender reassignment surgery is free, so they're pretty progressive when it comes to LGBTQ plus rights. And then obviously they host a huge festival called Carnival, which is going to tie into my version of this Coca-Cola ad. So when running this ad in Brazil, it's essentially going to be the same. It's going to be brother and sister. They're going to be watching this guy. So it's not going to be a pool boy. He's not going to be working in their backyard. He's going to be across the street. He's going to be their neighbor, their neighbor's friend. And he's going to be working on a float for Carnival. And they're just going to be watching him. And they're like, I have to bring him a Coca-Cola. So they both race to the fridge, see each other there. They race out the front door. They're like, we have to get this sweaty hot guy a Coca-Cola. We have to get his attention in his favor. They're not paying any attention to anything. They run across the street, and when they finally take a deep breath, their mom's already there. And she gives them that same grin and a shrug, and they're all watching the guy drink the Coca-Cola. And it's gonna have that connection to Brazilian culture, and it's also gonna be pretty funny and cheeky. I would keep it the same for, cities. Brazil is a more progressive country, especially in South America, when it comes to gay rights, LGBTQ plus rights. But there are some areas of Brazil that are not as accepting or not as open. So I would run this ad with the brother who's obviously interested in the dude across the street. I would run that in the major cities, see how everybody reacts, and then possibly, see how some smaller towns or rural areas react. But if anything, we'll have a backup advertisement, which is two sisters, same ad, just aired or distributed in more rural areas to, minimize uproar, but also still, give that funny, cute message. But I think the ad with the brother and the sister would be great. I don't think it would be a huge issue with the brother, but that's why we would have to watch consumer reactions on that. Yeah, I would distribute it. I think it would be really funny to have the two siblings, even if we just put this, in rural areas, see how they react. Both of the siblings, you just see their backs, you see them from behind, holding their coats, you can see that they're shrugging, just in disappointment and disbelief, and you just see their mom. So their color scheme is going to be black. You're just going to be looking at their backs. And you can see through them, and you can see their mom smiling at them while the guy across the street is drinking a Coca-Cola. So you would distribute them with stills on billboards. You would distribute them on social media. A huge population of the Brazilian people have cell phones, so they have social media, they have streaming services, they have ways to see ads for Coca-Cola. So we'll have it on social media, we'll have them on streaming services, and if you don't have a streaming service, there will be a quick ad running on cable services as well. So this is obviously an example of pattern advertising, which standardizes a message, but kind of changes depending on where you are. Like the way that it's filmed. We saw that with the other Coca-Cola ad with the girl working at the convenience store. The guy who was just running comes in, and they all have the same message of, you can have another Coke, but you have to drink it here. Or the Safe Light advertisement, where they have different names depending on where they are. But they all serve the same message, like, don't ignore the crack in your windshield, we'll come out and fix it. So those are all pattern advertising, which is pretty great. I had no idea so many versions of Safe Light were out there, so watching that video was pretty cool. Those videos on my classes were pretty funny to watch. And obviously they will give off, like, a pro of pattern advertising is giving off a unified brand message, experience. It's cost efficient, you don't really have to change much. But a con can be that it can be too general, and it can lose consumer interest, or if you have a message that you're trying to spread to one culture or one group of people, they don't resonate with that message generally, they're not going to resonate with it with your ad that you're running. So that's definitely a con. But in general, pattern advertising is pretty cool. And yes, thank you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in class on Monday.